Okay, so welcome to Tips from the Top. We are super excited to have you guys joining us today. I am really delighted to introduce, and a lot of you probably already know this rock star, but she is a total rock star from Redlands, California, who just promoted this week to senior director. Kelly Smith has been One Hope since June of last year, so June of 2016. And so first off, congratulations, Kelly, on your promotion.
Thank you.
Very
Thank you.
excited for you. That's a huge accomplishment. Kelly really has led by example and slowly and steadily has built a really strong business with One Hope. She's an absolute delight. And as I mentioned, she lives in Redlands, California. She, believe it or not, I can't believe this, is a grandma of two because she certainly doesn't look old enough to have two grandkids. Kelly also just earned the incentive trip to Puerto Vallarta. Yay! Kelly, and she's currently working on getting that second ticket for her hubby to be able to join her on the beach. And I have no doubt in my mind that you will be able to accomplish that. And so today, Kelly is going to share some tips and talk about building a team. So without further ado, I will turn it over to Kelly.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yep.
Yep. Okay, good. So I am just going to get started. I want to start off with sharing a quick testimonial with you guys about my background in direct sales. I have very little. So I don't come from another company. Am I allowed to say what other company I did for like 6 months?
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Okay. So I love to cook. I love to share my love of food with people. And so I did Pampered Chef for about 6 months. What drove me away from Pampered Chef, sadly, was my upline. I was going through a really rough time. My dad was diagnosed with brain cancer and had a pretty rapid battle, which he lost 6 weeks. It was so fast. And in that time frame, my upline called me because I was inactive. I had been active and I was inactive and want to know what was going on. And I shared it with her, and her response was, well, maybe a party would help take your mind off things. Not what I needed at all. It wasn't encouraging. It didn't make me feel cared about. It made me feel like a cog in a wheel, and she needed me to perform. So I quit that, and it put a really bad taste in my mouth on direct sales in general. But then I was introduced to One Hope. And as I already said, I love food. I love wine as much as I love food, if not more. And so I thought to myself, well, I could sell wine. I mean, it's $99 and I get 6 bottles. I would have spent that at the grocery store anyway. So why not give it a shot? And did my first wine tasting and was hooked. Loved everything about it. And so here we are, a year and a half almost later, and got myself a pretty rockin' awesome team. And I'm going to share with you a little bit about my philosophy on team building and team culture. So I've got kind of a who, what, where, when, why, how approach. All right. So number one, who can build a team? Anyone who's a CEO at One Hope can build a team. If you are a CEO for a year or you're a CEO for a day, you can build a team. Anybody can. You can bring someone on. What does it mean to build a team? So I looked up a couple words in the dictionary. To build, according to Merriam-Webster, is to develop according to a systematic plan by a definite process. So that's what it means to build something, is to develop a plan and execute that plan. And be systematic about it. That's how I am. Not everybody's that way, but this is what works for me. And then team is actually a verb. There is a verb definition for team, which is to come together to achieve a common goal. And we have a great goal here that we come together around, and that is giving back. We have this incredible product that is a vessel for so much good in the world. And it's something that we can really get together and get around. I mean, I love the wine, don't get me wrong. That's pretty much all I drink these days. But how cool is that we can gather together around this common theme of giving through this wonderful organization. So that's the what. We build something, we develop a systematic plan, and we go by a process, and we come together to achieve a common goal. Okay, what is next on my list? Where do you build a team? Anywhere you can. This isn't like a recruiting talk, really. Jess Landau did a great recruiting talk a couple months ago, right? Back when we had a recruiting discount. So look that up, and she gives great tips for recruiting. But you can recruit anywhere and everywhere. You can recruit at tastings. You can recruit at vendor events. You can recruit at parties. You can recruit on social media. You can recruit at soccer practice. You can recruit at networking groups that you're a part of. Anywhere you go, anyone you talk to, when they ask you what you do, you can tell them what you do in your own words. I have a variety of ways that I say, but it usually revolves something around drinking wine and doing good in the world. So that's where you can recruit and where you can find people to build your team. Next is when. No, when already happened. Did it? No. Okay, when? From day one. From the very first day that you join VIA, you can start recruiting and inviting others to join your journey. But I think the most important thing about the when is for you to do it when you're ready. I was a CEO for several months before I recruited anyone, and it was just difficult, mostly because I wanted to know what I was doing, and I wanted to understand the product, and I wanted to understand the company, and that was important to me. That, you know, some people are like, hey, it's a party, let's just all play together and that'll be awesome. And that's, if that works for you and you can recruit from day one and bring people along with you, awesome. I'm a little more measured or cautious, or however you want to put it. So it took me a while to start recruiting, but when I did, I was ready, and I wanted to really share this opportunity and share my love of the product and with the people that I had the privilege of recruiting. And why would you recruit? Well, I'll tell you why. It's to quote, I believe it's Winnie the Pooh. He says, it's much more friendlier with two. It's just more fun to go to work with a friend. This is my job, whether it's a part-time job or a full-time job, we're working with other people. And it's a whole lot more fun to work with other people than it is to work alone. At least for me, I like to be around people whose company I enjoy. I have met and made friends with so many people that I never would have had the opportunity to meet otherwise. From all over. I have a CEO in New York. I have a few in Arizona. I have some in Northern California, and I'm here in Southern California. So a lot of us have never met face to face. We've never met in person, but we Facebook message each other. We text. We do maybe monthly Zoom calls as a team, but it's just friendlier. It's just so much more fun to inspire one another. And this was something I threw out to my team yesterday and asked them, why, what do you need from a team? Why do you join it? Why do you want to be on a team? And that was what they said. The inspiration that happens when you collaborate with other people, when you share ideas, when you get stuck and you can ask somebody, you can ask a group of people, I'm going to do this thing and I'm kind of scared, or I don't really know what to expect, or have you had this experience before? I tried this, it didn't work. What did I do wrong? All of these wonderful things that we can share with each other is part of being on a team. And it's wonderful. And then finally, the how. How do you lead? How do you lead a team? I looked that one up too in the dictionary. And to lead means to cause a person to go with one by holding them by the hand while moving forward. And the secondary was to be in charge or in command of. It's not it's not like a traditional job where you can apply for a management position and then they give you a group of people and they say, here you go, you're in charge. So it shouldn't feel that way. It should feel more like volunteering for something that you really are passionate about. None of us are here because we have to be here. No one is holding our feet to the fire. We are a volunteer group of do-gooders. And, we happen to get a paycheck, which is really kind of cool, and some wine credit, which is really cool. But no one's requiring you. And so what would cause you to want to stay? Well, for me, I want to be a part of a group that enjoys one another's company, that is positive, that's uplifting, that's encouraging, that's helpful, that's being people of integrity and just really sharing their love of what we do. And I think that that's really important. I think that when you start to grow a team, you're going to learn real fast that everybody's different. No two of us are identical, and no two of us are going to run our business the exact same way. And that's okay. That is totally fine. It's important to find out what your team members need and are unique to them. I had one teammate who happens to be on the call right now. She joined, and shortly thereafter, she experienced a family kind of crisis where someone got sick and it pulled her away. Well, from my experience with my other upline from the other company, it was like, yeah, I'm not going to do that to her. I did check in with her consistently, but I checked in with her because I really cared about what was going on in her life. I didn't want her to feel like, oh my gosh, I signed up and now I'm not doing anything and they're probably going to kick me out. No way. This is a long game. We're in this for the long haul. And if you're in this for the long haul, and if you want to be a part of VIA, 6 months from now, a year from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, and I hope you do want that, you have to pace yourself. There's a group that are going to be doing a marathon soon in Napa next year. I believe Katie is one of them. And I've done a couple half marathons, and I can tell you, I'm a walker. So I get warmed up and I get a pace and I get going and I walk that marathon. And let me tell you, I passed a lot of people that shot out of the gate pretty quick and they were running full bore and they were going to kill this thing. Well, it's a little over 13 miles. I know what pace I can keep, and I can't keep I can't sprint 13 miles, but I can plod along. And I think when you're building your team and when you're creating a team and trying to create a culture within your team, go for the long game. Don't try not to push each other out of the game, I guess. It has to be about your team. It has to be about them. It has to be about what they need. How can I serve you? How can I help you? What can I do to make your VIA experience better, if possible? Maybe I need to back off. Sometimes I need to back off and not be such a mother hen and hover over. And some people need regular communication. Some people don't need any communication at all, and they check in with me when they need something. Well, that comes from building relationships with them and learning what they need and learning their communication style and making it about them. So that is pretty much all I have to share. Oh, I did have a couple facts on the how and with people and growing a team. I did look up a couple things. The average income in direct sales is $2,400 a year. So a couple $100 a month is what the average individual is looking for out of a direct sales company. There is nothing wrong with that. $200 a month can move the radar for a lot of people in a lot of ways. Not everybody's going to have 6 tastings a month or 8 tastings a month or 10. I might do that because it's important to me, But if the rest of my team isn't doing that, that's okay. I'm going to celebrate them and what they're doing and what their goals are. The other thing is it's a pretty high turnover rate industry. I don't know if you guys have ever looked into that, but it's over 50%. So people come and people go. And they come in for different reasons and they go for different reasons. And that's okay. It's not personal. It's not, if someone decides to walk away from their via business, as long as it's, I've done everything that I can to encourage them, life happens. And that is okay. We don't ever want, I don't blame Pampered Chef for my distaste of direct sales companies. But that was a bad experience, and unfortunately it was with a specific company, and I don't ever want that to take away from what we're really trying to accomplish here at One Hope, because what we have is incredible. It's humbling to me that this group of people have decided to trust their baby with us. And so let's have fun, let's build teams, let's just enjoy getting to know new people and having fun with new people and encouraging new people and letting them be them within the context of their business and in our teams. So that's all I have, Katie.
Kelly, you said so many great things there. I wish that I was like writing it down. I was trying to listen intently. You said so many incredible things. And something that is coming to mind, I believe it's a Maya Angelou quote, is that people will forget the things that you say and that you do, but they will remember how you made them feel. Mm-hmm. And so I think that being a coach and building a team, that's probably something you should always have in the back of your mind, is that person, when you hang up the phone after a coaching call, or you get in your car after you've met for coffee for a coaching conversation, they're going to remember how you made them feel. And so recruiting someone and building a team, it's a big responsibility. And you are building a relationship with someone. Now, Kelly, as you said, there's some people that are totally, hey, I got this. I don't need a lot of interaction, or I don't need you to call me all the time. And that's cool. That's a relationship too. But then there's other people that want to talk every other day or every week, and want to text, frequently and ask. And so you've got to be willing to open yourself up to getting to know and understanding how to work with different personalities. And it's really fun because you'll find you're going to grow personally in a lot of ways, I think, from dealing with different personality types. And that's the neat thing is, Kelly, you mentioned people approach their businesses in very different ways. Some people, have a goal to max out the compensation plan. Some people have a goal to make an extra $200 a month to pay for dance lessons or soccer, or sock away money for a family vacation. And so people have all different reasons why and different goals. And so you, as a mentor and as a coach, you're in a really cool position to be able to meet a really wide variety of people, get to know them and help support them and their dreams and their visions. One thing I want to say too is I think sometimes, and I'd like to get your insight on this, Kelly, sometimes I think people think recruiting is a selfish thing. Because it's all about me, right? So if you want to, grow in this business and promote to senior director or even to a director, you've got to build a team. So that means that you need others on board with you, helping you to, check off those boxes that you need to get to director. So sometimes people might feel that it's a little bit of a selfish thing to kind of recruit people to help them achieve a goal for themselves. I personally believe that it's selfish not to recruit people. There's kind of two types of people in the world, right? Where if I said, Kelly, oh my gosh, I love your necklace. There's one type of person, if Kelly was this person, she'd go, thanks, Katie. See you later. Then there's another type of person, if I said, Kelly, I love your necklace, she'd go, oh my gosh, Katie, thank you so much. I got this from One Hope. And she would tell me everything about it because she wants to share it with me. So I really feel like we have a great thing to be able to share. And so to not share it, I think is selfish. So Kelly, I don't know if you have any thoughts about that of, kind of your story of waiting to recruit a little bit till you felt really comfortable and confident in sharing it, and then how you encourage and coach your team to also recruit and share the opportunity.
I think when you love what you do, when you're excited about something, you can't help but tell other people about it. And the fact that I'm, financially compensated in some way for what I do with VIA does not in any way for me take away from the fact that it's still awesome. It's an incredible, you know, when you love something. I mean, just before we got started, we were talking about meal prep, and I was sharing about a local business that that I use and sharing it with Katie. Why? Because it's awesome. So I'm not compensated. I just love the fact that I have this meal prep. So if I wasn't compensated, would I share how much I love One Hope? Yeah. And it's organic. It just happens organically. I know there's one team member that I have, we went to high school together, and I was just sharing on social media what I was doing. And she reached out and said, tell me about this wine thing you're doing. It's like, heck yeah, I'd love to share this wine thing with you. But if you're just sharing what you do and you share what you're passionate about and you share what you love, people are going to be drawn to that. And the flip side is also true. If you complain, people aren't going to be attracted to it. So don't complain, you know, don't ever, I don't know how to say it without, you know, but if you're struggling, I like the way somebody put it once, rain, thunder up, sunshine down, sunshine side to side. Just every opportunity that we have in life sometimes has struggles, but I love it. And I think just sharing it organically and being excited about it, you can't help but share it with the people around you. And it doesn't have to be a high pressure thing. Like when I'm in a tasting, I usually hit it a couple of times. Like, hey, I love this. I love what I do. If you're sitting out there and you think, I could do that, I can do what she's doing, I would love to talk to you. Let's talk. And leave it at that. And usually somebody will say, yeah, I think I can do what you do. Tell me more.
I love that. Your vibe attracts your tribe for sure.
Yes.
And, you know, that's a great point is you don't have to. And as you said, one of the first things you said was who can recruit? You can recruit if you're the first hour in as a brand new CEO, you can recruit someone right now. You can wait a year, you can wait a month, you can do it whenever you want. And you don't have to wait until you have the perfect message crafted and the perfect pitch and all of that. As long as you're genuinely coming from your heart and talking about what you love. I mean, Kelly, you were telling me all about this meal service in your town that you love, that you don't know all the specifics. You don't know all the ingredients and all that kind of stuff or the pricing or however it works. And I don't need to know all that, but I can hear the passion and enthusiasm in what you're sharing. Right. And so that's going to make me very interested because you're genuinely sharing from your heart. And so don't feel like you have to be 100% educated on all our wines and know everything about winemaking and know everything about Robert Mondavi Jr. and know what percentage of Merlot is in our red blend. You don't have to know all of those things, but if you're sharing from your heart, something that makes you happy, something that you love, something that you're passionate about, that's what people will naturally gravitate towards. And you're going to build a team of very like-minded, as you said, Kelly, do-gooders. And you can learn as you go. You don't have to have all the answers.
I think sometimes when we try and give too much information, that can actually overwhelm people. You know, don't over talk it. Just share what you love about it and let it ride. And you can get deeper in conversations later on down the road. But to attract people, just share what you love.
And that's a great point, Kelly, is it's really important to find out what's of interest to someone else. So if you start sharing a lot of information, let's say just about the compensation plan, well, this person that you're talking to, maybe they don't care about that. They just love the impact piece of it. And they really want to know more about our nonprofit and our cause partners and actually how do we make an impact? That's the information that they want to know. But if you're taking it from your point of view and not asking questions to find out what they're interested in, and you're rambling on for 30 minutes about the compensation plan, and they didn't hear what they needed to hear in that conversation, you might have just lost a really great potential CEO because you weren't speaking the language that they wanted to hear. So I think it's really important to ask questions. It's kind of sales 101 is you should be doing the least amount of talking. Your potential recruit should be doing the most amount of talking, and you should be listening because then they'll tell you, they'll steer you in the direction of what they want to know about. Maybe they want to know really specific detailed stuff about the wine. Maybe they want to know about our cause partners or a specific cause partner. Maybe they do really want to know about the compensation plan because they would love to replace a full-time income with something like this. So you won't know that answer until you ask a number of questions to figure out what's important to them.
And I think too, it's okay to not know everything. there's a lot of times where I get asked a question I don't have the answer to, and I'll be totally honest and say, you know what, I don't know, but let me see if I can find out for you. And, tap into people that have been around longer, or email support, or whatever you can do. But you don't have to know everything to be a good leader.
Love it. Perfect. Well, Kelly, thank you so much. You shared some really incredible tips with all of us today. It was a pleasure to hear from you, and we thank you guys for joining in. And I can't wait to see you on the beach in Mexico, my darling. All right. Cheers. Thanks, everybody.